Imagine that you are at a chemistry lab and your instructor asks you to prepare three solutions of different volumes and molarities. Hello, my name is Mirai, and in this video tutorial we'll be looking at the steps to prepare solutions of specific concentrations and volumes starting from dissolving a solid solute. How to prepare 100 milliliter of 3 molar solution of magnesium chloride. Pause the video and do your calculations. So write the mass to be measured is 28.6 grams. Now let's continue and see what are the steps in order to prepare this solution. So you choose the 100 milliliter volumetric flask since you want to prepare 100 milliliter of this solution. And now using a digital balance you weigh 28.6 grams of magnesium chloride. The next step, you add the solute to the volumetric flask. And then you add water to fill the bulb. And after you do this step, you start mixing. And you keep mixing to make sure that all the solute dissolved. See, as you can see over here, all the solute be turned into dissolved solute. And now slowly you add water to fill the line. And the last step to do, you just invert the flask to make sure that everything is dissolved. And now your solution is ready. The next solution, how to prepare a 1 molar solution of potassium iodide by weighing 166 grams of potassium iodide. Pause the video and do your calculation. Now write 100 milliliter, which is 1 liter, is the volume required to prepare this kind of solution. Now let's continue and look through the steps that we need to do in order to prepare this solution. So first you choose your 1 liter volumetric flask, and then using a digital balance you weigh 166 grams of potassium iodide. This measured solute should be transferred now to the 1 liter volumetric flask, and you add water to fill the bulb. And then you mix carefully the volumetric flask in order to dissolve all the solute. Now as you can see, all the solute, the solid solute turned into ions, dissolved ions. And now you slowly add the water to fill the line, and you invert the flask to make sure that you don't have any solid solute left. Now the third solution to prepare would be the concentration of a sodium chloride solution if you were asked to dissolve 86 grams of sodium chloride in 1 liter volumetric flask. Again, pause the video and do your calculations. Now after doing your calculations, you write 1.4 molar would be the solution prepared. Now let's look through the steps. So as mentioned, you choose 1 liter volumetric flask, and then you weigh the 86 grams of sodium chloride and you transfer them to the volumetric flask. After that, you add water to fill the bulb in order to dissolve this 86 grams, and you mix the volumetric flask very well to make sure that the NaCl solid solute have dissolved. Now slowly add the water to fill the line. As you can see here in the figure, I have aqueous sodium chloride. The last step is that you fill the water to the line and you invert the flask. And that's it. As you can see, we have looked at three solutions and the steps to prepare different concentrations of different solutions. Sometimes you might have the mass and the volume of the solution. You'll have to find the molarity. Sometimes you have the molarity and the size of the volumetric flask, so all you have to do is find how much mass you need to weigh. And sometimes you might have the molarity and the mass of the solution. You just need to know how much size, you need to know the size of the volumetric flask to be used. Thank you for listening.